So you want the dirty truth? Okay, I've got a good one for you. It involves our military. A few months ago, I got a phone call from a guy who went to Microworks. Not just a guy. His name is Mike Myatt, and he's a retired Marine Corps five-star general. In fact, he was one of the youngest five-star generals in the history of the Corps. He ran the operation in Kuwait back in the early 90s. And he went to Microworks and looked around and was interested in meeting with me. This is General Myatt, by the way. He runs the Marine Corps Memorial in San Francisco. It's kind of a big deal, and he writes in this magazine and some others. He's been published all over the place, but he wanted to talk to me about employment, or unemployment specifically, for RSS. RSS mean recently separated servicemen. And at the time, the national unemployment rate when I went in to see him was about 7%. And we sat down in the headquarters up there. Pretty intimidating, by the way. When a general calls you, I mean, you gotta go. And he's there with another general, the guy that started the Helmets to Hard Hats program, and a colonel named Bucky Peterson down in Pendleton. And they're all, these are very serious guys. And as we start to talk, there's a vibe in the room that I can only describe as angry. And I know this because as they're talking, they're taking their papers and they're doing this on the table. They're talking to me. I'm like, what's going on? Well, what's going on is this. The unemployment rate in the country, roughly around 7 at the time, is compared to the unemployment rate for these RSS, which is, go ahead, take a guess. You would think they'd be lower, right? Men and women protecting the country. It's not lower than 7. It's more than 7. In fact, when this study was completed less than a year ago, the unemployment rate for returning or recently separated servicemen was 18%. So this is what General Myatt's upset about. And he shows me this study. I'll just read you this. This was sent to him by a guy named Colonel Luckman. I'll read you the second paragraph. General, this study has not been distributed by the VA. In fact, very few people know of its existence, and reading it may tell you why. The news is not good, and if the general public realized that military service is an overall negative for young Americans in the terms outlined in this report, things would not be good. Look, this isn't like a smoking gun I'm going to share with you. These facts are out there. But I cannot believe that nobody's talking about it the way they're talking about it. The executive summary alone, I wish I could read you the whole thing, but I've underlined just a quick little something. The survey targeted 1,941 RSS discharged within the first 3 years. These are men and women coming back from Afghanistan and Iraq. Results for the 07 EHS verify that separated service members still face challenges related to employment and career readiness. 18% of RSS are currently unemployed, and of those employed since separation, 25% are earning less than $21,840 a year. So the bottom line is, what is 25 and 18, 35, 45, like 43% of our men and women coming back from active service, 43% are living under the poverty line. 18 at a minimum are unemployed. This is 6 months old at this point, right? Anyhow, if that's not a dirty little truth, I don't know what is. I think we're going to hear a lot more about unemployment in the military, and I hope that sites like Microworks, and I hope some of these infrastructure programs, and I hope that some of this stimulus money is going to go to help create some veteran-friendly on-ramps into some of these big corporations that are going to be doing a lot of this building. Part of the problem is you got boot camp and basic, which is, 12, 16 weeks long. We prepare our people for this whole change of culture, but when they come out, there is no reverse boot camp. There's no real program on the government side to help people assimilate, and these incredibly qualified, talented, self-sacrificing people are just unable to make the connection and unable to get themselves hired. It's a disaster, it's a tragedy, it's a problem, and hopefully somebody important will come and see this and get real angry like the general did and take whatever papers are nearby. Come on, man, do something about that. That's a dirty little truth.